Hi, I'm Maverick M. I'm a junior at Stetson University. So, Junior Legacy Project. Where do I start? I wanted to do a project that could help. I wanted to do something that was a little bit different. Normally we go through and we discuss the things that we've done and sort of just give you information on those. But I wanted to leave sort of a set of rules, a set of guidelines to help future bonders, the future freshmen, better impact the issue area of your choice. I also want to give examples of where I have done these things and how it's made impacts. The first rule I've established is to just recognize the need. A lot of people, when they go to serve, they think that they're doing something that is the absolutely best thing for whichever issue they're trying to impact. For example, say you're trying to help people in poverty. Well, you think that they need a bunch of socks. Maybe that's not the right plan of action. Maybe they need more food for their kid, or maybe they need blankets and not socks. For the example that I'm going to use, I took on the role of Vice President of Community Engagement on the IFC board, which is the governing system over Greek life here at Stetson. When I first took on this role, I realized very quickly that there wasn't any sort of set guidelines or standards for what it was or what it meant to be community engaged. There wasn't a standard for what even was a service hour. There wasn't standards for how to log service hours. There wasn't even a differentiation between being community engaged and philanthropic. And these were huge issues that weren't being addressed. So I recognized this need and I decided to work at it. After a need is met, you need to establish a second rule, which is to establish an ethical impetus. Now, you may be asking, what is this? This is your fuel. This is your drive. This is what you're passionate about. So my ethical impetus was I wanted Greeks to participate better in community engagement activities instead of the usual philanthropic activities. So after the ethical impetus is established, the third rule then takes place, and which is to gain support. When I realized the need in Greek life and I established my ethical impetus to impact them to get Greeks more community engaged, I looked for an advisor and I found Savannah Griffin. She was able to give me so much information on the topic, and she was able to sort of point me in the right direction to establish these different guidelines and ground rules. We established standards from the AmeriCorps system, and we were able to borrow different systems that have already been established from other places. So after you gain support, and after you've started implementing these different systems, the fourth thing you need to do is you need to receive critical feedback. You need to constantly be checking just to make sure that the stuff that you're doing is actually meeting the goals and standards that you've set. The way we did this is every month we met with the philanthropic chairs or the philanthropy chairs from every single Greek organization, and we talked with them. And with this, we learned a lot of different things. First of all, we learned they hated the way that they had the log service. They didn't like the fact that after they logged certain hours that they had to write in a couple sentence summary or a paragraph summary of what they had actually learned, what they gained from this experience. The Greek organizations also didn't like the fact that every single individual member had to log on to OrgSync and log their own hours, which doesn't seem unreasonable, but when you're trying to get and coordinate 60 different guys or girls to go onto this website and make sure that these hours are logged in order to get them turned in, logistically it's just kind of hard to do. So what we did is we actually got on the phone with the people from OrgSync, and we were able to make it so that the philanthropic chairs or the community engagement chairs for every chapter were able to go on and log these hours for their entire chapter if it was like a chapter event, which most of them are. So after you've gained the critical feedback, now it's time to use the fifth rule, which is to break free of the established structure. So we decided to go in and actually throw out all the other rules. We went in and drafted up a brand new set of philanthropic bylaws for IFC, both IFC and Panhellenic, and we actually got them voted in. So now they are the established structure. We completely scrapped the other one and created a new one, which has been working phenomenally. Service hours here at Stetson are up 500%, which is pretty significant. It's very huge. And it was all because of the fact that we were able to break free of the established structure. Going on to the sixth rule, it is time to cross disciplinary boundaries. Find different people in different fields that could help us and benefit us in different ways. Almost like creating a partnership. So this is how we crossed disciplinary boundaries. Greek Life at Stetson wanted to do a very large community engagement event with all of Greek Life, which is basically almost impossible to plan logistically by one or two people. So what we did is we went to the Center for Community Engagement, and we knew that they were having a large community engagement day. It was Dudley Day of Service. And we told them, we said, okay, we're going to bring X amount of people, and we established different service sites for every single one of them. So we were able to accommodate upwards of 500 Greek members at Dudley Day of Service. So 500 times 4 hours, I mean, that's almost 2,000 hours that we were able to establish by doing actual community engagement work, which wouldn't have been possible without the cross-disciplinary boundaries of IFC board and Center for Community Engagement working together. So after you've done all of this, a succession plan is absolutely critical. A succession plan is an established, written down plan of action of how your organization is going to be succeeded by other individuals. A succession plan deals with a makeup of organization structure for your organization, rules that apply, the time standards between when these people are going to take effect, how they get voted in, if there's a voting process, little things like that that you really don't think of that need to be addressed to make sure that your organization is sustainable. And the way I was able to do this with IFC, we met every single week with the philanthropy chairs and the community engagement chairs from every single organization. From there, I started sort of recruiting one of the members, and I started talking with him to sort of get him on board to become and succeed me in the role of IFC Community Engagement Chair. He was already up to par and up to speed with everything that we've done and knew exactly where we were going and why we were doing these things, and was familiar with all the systems and new bylaws, and he was very impassioned with community engagement, and he was also a Greek. So that ended up just being perfect, actually. Right now, he's actually succeeded me in the role of community engagement, and all the work that we have established and that was established is still going, and we're still growing, and Stetson Greeks are becoming very community engaged on campus. So I wasn't going to put this in here, but why not? For the 6th rule, make sure you're having fun. Make sure that you are enjoying the service that you're doing, and that it's not just a chore. Because when it's a chore, when it's not really something that you're impassioned about, and it's not fun, it becomes detrimental. And it makes it so like the service that you're actually doing isn't helping, it's actually hurting. And that's very important, especially when you're helping people in need.
I'm trying hard to take it back. So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling